everybody? Welcome to Mystics MMOs. MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. Wow. So I won't get into the background story. I am checking out a video by this content creator, Kristopher ESO. I don't know him. Whatever. He's done an interview with Alcast, which is fine. Alcast knows Elder Scrolls, no doubt about that. But I want you guys to take a look at the title here. Is ESO the best MMO of 2019? Well, let me answer that one already for you. Fuck no. Not even close. Not by any account. If you want to be subjective about it, you can't even be subjective. It has no esports presence. None. Zero. It has no competitive play on any level. And its sub numbers are not even half as much as, I don't know, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy. There are even some other MMO titles that have way more subs than Elder Scrolls. Now, Elder Scrolls is up there. I'm not denying that. Not even denying it. But, boy, yeah, I figured I was watching this and I rewinded and I was like, okay, Kristopher, I don't know you. I don't, but man, nice clickbait, dude. ESO best of 2019. Now, Alcast actually had a couple of things to say. I did post on his thing here. I did leave a comment. So, I don't expect it to stand. Here's my personal little comment. Roll on the floor laughing my fucking ass off. The best MMO? Interesting. First, I don't expect this to stay up due to your biased title, but let's rip apart your video or vid, shall we? First, Alcast has one MMO prior to Elder Scrolls Online. So what can he compare it to? Lineage? That's it? Wow. Pat yourself on the back. Second, ESO doesn't have but a quarter, supposed to be an R there, of the subs compared to WoW or Final Fantasy, which, by the way, has over 12 million. 12 million! Even with WoW's decreased numbers, ESO isn't generating as many players in comparison to World of Warcraft. Second, the performance is getting worse with ESO. Even Alcast has mentioned the performance issue, and he also mentioned it in this video. We will be playing parts of this. Issues in the past stream. So did this just disappear? Or are the bugs and pings a figment of everybody's imagination? Best game of 2019? Elsewhere might end up crashing the servers before it gets that title. Okay. So, I'm going to play a little bit of this, and we'll just get into it. Okay? So let me rewind it, and I'm just going to play certain parts. So we'll rip it apart a little bit.
About ESO in 2018 as well as ESO's future for 2019, specifically how this game ranks among other MMOs and whether or not it is going to be perhaps one of the best MMOs of this year. Maybe even the best MMO this year.
The best!
We, of course, have some amazing gameplay footage brought to us by Alcast as well. So you guys get to see
I
him
love when he
it
does
up
the
in both
interview.
PvP and
You
PvE
guys,
in
oh
this
my
video.
god.
Before we begin, I just wanted to say a huge shout out to Alcast for coming in and doing the interview. So without further ado, welcome, Alcast. Please introduce yourself. What server do you like to play on, and what is your favorite class to play?
So I'm Alcast from alcasthq.com.
Okay.
I mean, the current meta, especially in PvE, it's not really welcome to have stem
describes
meta,
himself
like
and stuff.
stem builds. PvP-wise, I definitely enjoy my stem DK a lot.
Nice.
I like to play bursty builds a little bit. Like I just released the one where I have a lot of ulti regen, a lot of bleed pressure and that stuff, and it's a lot of fun to play and also to stream.
How long have you played ESO?
I actually started playing, like, I tested out the game in the beta, but maybe like I tried 2-3 hours. And then I really started playing with kind of early access, I think in April. Or was it? Yeah, somewhere start of April, I think it was.
Nice.
But I was a complete noob back then, like anyone else.
Everybody's got to start somewhere.
And I mostly was like doing quests, and I tried to get into dungeon as fast as possible, basically. But yeah, since then I always played Elder Scrolls. I'm still addicted to it. Yeah. Sometimes I actually wish
it's a good game.
I had more time to
play.
Got
good fundamentals.
Because I'm doing a lot of stuff on my website, and I also have a lot of projects with Whirler. So it's like, you know, I actually would like to play more, but time doesn't allow it.
Oh, I feel your pain, man.
I bet you do.
So, what other MMOs have you played in the past?
Before I played Elder Scrolls Online, I played Lineage 2. I usually call it Lineage, but people keep telling me it's like Lineage or something like that. I still can't pronounce it.
I think it's Lineage.
I really butcher Lineage. Yeah, okay, there you go. I butcher a lot of stuff, but that's okay. I can't help it. I used to play that on like private servers mostly because the game was too grindy for me. Way too grindy on the official servers. And I mostly did PvP there actually, which was kind of fun to do.
That's good.
The servers were not that big, but there was always some sort of community.
That's good.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, like ESO is basically my first big MMO.
Nice. So how was this past year?
Okay, so timeout. Let's go over this. Alcast has played one MMO prior to Elder Scrolls, and he said this is my first big MMO. Okay, I can respect that. He's young. Alcast is young. He's like early 20s. You know, he's in his early 20s. So it's respectable, man. You know, he's honest. So I respect that. But I'm going to rewind this just for a second. So we left off at 3:31. I'm going to rewind this. Okay.
Of this year, maybe even the best. Today we have got a special interview with Alcast HQ, the one and only, and we're going to be talking about ESO in 2018 as well as ESO's future for 2019, specifically how this game ranks among other MMOs and
other MMOs, how it ranks against other MMOs. And you're asking Alcast, who has never played any of these other MMOs, to even give a substantial valid, reference. None. Wow. Kristopher, pat yourself on the back, you fucking idiot. Wow. Okay, so nice title, nice introduction. He's very pleasant to hear. You know, he's very well spoken. I will give it up to him for that. But as far as accuracy, it's just been debunked within the first 3 fucking minutes of the video. His whole idea of a video to pump up Elder Scrolls for 2019 has just gone out the window within the first 3 fucking minutes. The first 3. It's like, what the fuck, dude? What are you, crazy? Second, do your research before you even open your mouth about some stupid shit like that. Like, the best. It's like, dude, like, we'll continue. We'll continue. Okay.
A huge success, like in terms of like the amount of players that got into the game.
Steam charts for Somerset, I think it was like a 50% bump.
He thinks there's no substantial. Oh my god! It's like, dude, seriously. I mean, you can say you can say that. But once again, you're comparing this to other MMOs. Now, first off, you can't compare it to World of Warcraft unless you get Blizzard once they, you know, have their subs released, which they haven't done, in 2 years now? Maybe even longer? So you have to literally, because World of Warcraft isn't on Steam, right? So what are you comparing it to? What are you comparing Elder Scrolls to? Are you comparing it to World of Warcraft? Are you? How? How? Okay, just a question. Just a heads up. Let's continue.
On Steam charts when Somerset came out.
I really liked the...
Incredible.
Yep. And the biggest thing actually was in Dragon's Bones, which a lot of people probably already forgotten. The outfit system.
Oh yeah.
You know, the fashion script. Yep, and the dungeons also were really nice there actually. DLC, then the chapter, and another 2 DLCs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like 2 years ago, when you had Clockwork City, you had pretty nice story, but for me personally, I don't really care about it. But so like people that like the story content, they love that stuff. But for me,
it's got good story content. It's got good open world content for sure. Elder Scrolls is a good game. That's why it's one of my favorites.
Why should I come back? There's nothing there. Nothing is improved.
Interesting.
And a lot of people probably say, "Oh, well, there's Black Rose Arena."
Yeah.
But that's probably the biggest miss in the last year, in my opinion.
Oh, wait a minute. So Alcast is being honest. It's the biggest miss. Now, I like Alcast in this scenario. He's just being honest. Like, if you watch this entire video, everything that Alcast says, it's like Kristopher is trying to lead Alcast into being somebody other than, or being like, yeah, you know, it's the best and compare it. But Alcast is being pretty open about the pros and cons about Elder Scrolls Online. He's mentioning both perspectives continuously through this video. So I'm not going to bash on Alcast at all. It's zero, matter of fact. Because Alcast has said, well, this is good, this wasn't, and now you have one of the endgame scenarios that wasn't really up to my expectations, and I feel like it missed. Okay, at least it's honest. You know, people might have a difference of opinion, but at least Alcast has, you know, experienced all of these elements to Elder Scrolls and can give a very good, reliable source of saying why. Okay?
Is Black Rose really easy?
No, it's pure cancer.
Oh, I've never done it.
It's pure cancer, and it's not even the problem about the difficulty. The first time I went in there, it's like they just copy-pasted all content into an arena.
Okay, so wait a minute. So even Alcast is saying they're just copying and pasting content. And this is coming from the best MMO of 2019? These are not my words. Not whatsoever. I'm just raising the question. Okay, let's continue.
It's like, that mob, that's from Masatun. That mob comes from there, you know. I know this mechanic from this other dungeon, from the old dungeon. So it just felt like they scrambled together old dungeon mechanics and put it into the Black Rose Arena. But there was no new mobs and stuff like that. And when you actually explore Murkmire, there is a lot of, like, the world bosses. They have some cool mechanics. A lot of new mobs, like those, what do you call them? Bubblegum mobs, or with this green...
The gooey things.
Gooey thing, yeah, you know. You don't find any of that stuff in the Black Rose. You just find old mobs. And I'm like, what the hell, you know? There's nothing cool in there, nothing to look for. And then on top, PV content, which is really tough, actually. And that stuff.
Okay, this is where they're talking about Wheeler and shit.
That they have the item sets when they launch stuff. It's like, for me, I do a dungeon when there is good stuff, I will run through it anyway, right? Because I like to see how the dungeon works, and like I say, like Scale Caller looks really nice, and some of the new dungeons too. But if I want to repeat it, I only go in there if there's good gear, and if there is no good gear, why bother? Sure, I do the score stuff in there and so on. I try to get the world first and that stuff. But after that, that's it. You know, if there's no gear to grind, why should I go back in there?
Why should you go back in? What's the incentive? It's a pretty legit question, right?
Yep. And
so yeah, that's my point on that, I guess.
You know, as a PvP main, a big issue that I have is limitations with gear. You know, like master weapons and stuff. I don't do VDSA, and I don't want to do VDSA. But if I want a master weapon, which is, you know, a great PvP weapon, all the different master weapons are fantastic for a variety of PvP builds. You know, I can't go and get it easily.
Yeah,
and I can't enjoy.
I think that's a huge.
It.
Yeah, that's a huge problem, because I guess you could grind through it, but it's a pain, right? It's like, it's painful.
But on the flip side too, I do
especially
have
if
to
you try
say
to carry
that
somebody.
You can get a lot of rewards for just PvPing for PvP.
Yeah.
You will be limited to a degree.
Okay, so they're talking about it. They're like, you know, people using PvE sets for PvP. Once again, I've said multiple times, the best sets used for PvP have nothing to do with PvP. None. Zero. Okay? What's the point of acquiring majority of the PvP sets when half of them aren't going to serve you towards PvP? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point in doing a dungeon if there's no good gear? And what's the point of doing PvP when you have to do PvE to get your PvP gear? Questions. Continue.
But you can still put together a great build, I think, outside of the PvE locked gear.
That is definitely true. It's just, you know, you always want what you can't have or what's slow.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's a theme we've seen from ZeniMax. Max is taking the right steps for ESO and has this year reflected that.
I would say they're going into the right direction. So they're definitely slow. Like when you look PvP-wise, the snares, they've been really killing the, well, not killing the game, but being very annoying. And
it takes some time to make the changes they need.
So I think they're going into the right direction. They're just very slow.
Yeah.
Very slow. Same studio that's copying and pasting their new endgame content from Black Rose. Saying a lot.
Yeah. I think that's a theme we've seen from ZeniMax for this game, though, since launch. They just haven't been fast to fix even bigger problems.
Okay, so wait a minute. Now you're admitting that ZeniMax has priority issues? First, you're saying, is ESO the best MMO? We love it. It's awesome. But, you know, the devs do have their priorities mixed up. Which is it? Okay? I'm getting confused already. Okay, I'm getting confused. Is Elder Scrolls a good game? Yeah. Does it got problems? A ton of fucking problems. Shitloads. Tons. Continue.
And I think after 5 years, we've seen huge strides towards a better game, but it's still slow.
Yes, I do think
it's still slow. Boy, man, I didn't even have to hit the play but 1 second.
Though, I mean, there is obviously a reason for that. So, in case the name Rob Garrett rings a bell, I think he's the lead gameplay designer. So, he's pretty new there. He has been there for, I think, about a year now. Experienced developer. And I'm actually glad that they got him in. So, I think he's trying to build a team to make... When you look at it, he has first, like, to get to know the teams.
And he's talking about putting him in PvE and PvP. And once again, this does not work.
And it's a big company.
This never fucking works. You
need to
don't
plan
mix
stuff,
PvE and
you don't
PvP. You
do
don't do
things
that
twice.
No.
Or
at
3 times
all.
or 4 times like in the past. So you need to plan ahead well. You need to get the right opinions and stuff like that. So sure, it sucks that the snare stuff still has not been addressed, but I'd rather do it like that they do it correctly instead of fucking it up again, right?
Yeah, and I agree.
I do appreciate that somehow.
So do you think that Brian Wheeler taking over as the head combat lead for both PvP and PvE is gonna
like you
have a
said,
good impact
you don't
as
do
well
that.
in the game?
This is you do
definitely,
not do this.
Because
Dumb,
he's a pretty
dumb,
cool guy.
dumb.
He has a lot of good ideas. Now, he obviously is also like.
Why are they making one
limited
person
to the
do it?
resources
Because
he gets,
somebody's
right?
cheap.
And I think he would like to do a lot of cool stuff for Cyrodiil, but the servers just keep shitting the bed, I guess.
What? What? What was that, Alcast? What about the server shitting the bag? What? Where this came from God? Did this get handed down by God himself? Did God just say the servers keep shitting the bag? I'm sorry. I think I'm trying to catch my breath and hack up shit at the same time. All right. I think I'll be fine. I just didn't know if that was what he really had said and admitted to. And we all know the servers run like fucking shit, Zoss.
Yeah.
But I do think in terms of like when you look before again, PvP was split, and now it's like you have one lead, which has both teams under him.
Nothing's gonna go wrong with this scenario. Okay.
And I think that improves coordination.
I agree.
So it's definitely not a bad shout to do that. So you know, server issues are another thing.
And
boy, man, hold on. So I just went from servers keep shit in the bag and server issues are another thing. Wow. Wow. Boy, we're getting now. Once again, I'm not bagging on Alcast. I'm simply pointing out once again what other people want to hate me for, and I've said the entire fucking time. And then this little fuck dweeb is like, it's gonna be the best of 2019. Boy, man, Alcast is selling me right now. He's selling me that this is the game you should be playing and buying. And man, you guys are missing the opportunity of a fucking lifetime. Trust you and me. It's an experience moving forward.
We have a question about that coming up in a bit still.
Yeah.
The lag question. It'll be in every interview.
The lag question? Wait, there's a question for this topic? Why, Kristopher? Why? Why would you have a question for lag if this is the best potential MMO of 2019? Well, I don't know, because every top other MMO doesn't have an IP fucking problem.
What classes do you think are great?
But other people don't realize that, or like a two-handed bow build. So
they're talking about BIS. I'm not even getting into that argument because other people are kind of like,
well, not bad.
Okay, let's talk. Well, hold on.
Never really played World of Warcraft. Running a two-hander, like, is it best now? It's like, no, it's not best, but it's.
I love this.
It's maybe 3K,
this
4K DPS
really
behind, and it's a lot of fun to play, you know.
So, how do you think ESO measures up to other big MMOs like World of Warcraft?
What do you think? Alcast. We know you haven't played World of Warcraft, and you have no idea what's going on, but how would you rate it against World of Warcraft? Please, give us your expertise, even though you've never played the game. And we have no data to substantiate any of this, but no, we just want it for the record.
So this question is pretty tough to answer for me because I never really played World of Warcraft.
Shut the fuck up. Really? Wow. Kristopher, excellent question. Way to just shine the spotlight on the man. Way to go, man.
I never really played any other big MMOs. I tried Black.
He's never played any other big MMOs. Oh, this is just getting so fucking good. And remember, in the beginning, Kristopher is like, it could possibly be the best MMO of 2018.
Desert for like a week, but too grindy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now I do know that World of Warcraft is in a, well, not bad, but maybe shitty position. A lot of people are not happy with the current
This is true.
expansion or updates or whatever. That's what I heard.
And there's a free
I heard
weekend
lot of
this
big,
weekend. Thank you,
WoW
Heels, for
streamers want to
Babyface.
try
Thank
out
you guys for
elsewhere.
that
Yep,
announcement.
we already have
So-
Nixium coming over from WoW playing.
It's definitely coming
I've
over.
seen that guy already. That's true. I
It's
was actually
it's
surprised.
going
I was
to
like,
be
who,
like
who is
the
that
best.
dude? I've never seen him before. And then
A
I
new
checked
streamer.
It out, yeah. So I think elsewhere will be very nice for Elder Scrolls, and it's definitely the biggest opportunity in terms of like, okay, you know, ESO is this game. How much people will go over? Because WoW kind of sucks, but will people be convinced of ESO? Because Elder Scrolls Online is a
Not with
very
this IP.
different MMO in terms of gameplay.
It
you know?
is.
Like, you don't have a lot of. You barely
World of
have any
Warcraft's
cooldowns, so it's very
players are used to
fast-paced.
polish.
It's reactive, you know. It's
I don't
not
give a
like
fuck
WoW.
how good the combat
A
is.
lot of people
As soon
can't
as they
deal with
lag
weapon
or
swapping.
bug up,
It's crazy, dude.
World of
I'm telling you.
Warcraft players will
it's
demand
I mean, that could,
fucking
any
performance
kind of
on the
foreign
spot.
thing,
You don't
especially
deliver,
'cause you're
fuck
right,
you. They hit the
traditional
unsub button quicker
outside
than
of
shit.
like
I
something like
know.
Guild Wars 2, which does have the weapons.
I do have the
but it's not
experience.
on constant. You have a cooldown on your swap in that game as well. And
Yeah.
they're used to this like cast style gameplay. So I think coming from a traditional MMO to ESO, you definitely get that feeling of this is now a fighting game, not a cast style
GCDs
MMO.
were kind of
Yeah. And that's also, I mean,
Put on a
that's
little
why
bit
I like the game, that's
diminished.
why I'm still here.
Oh, me
because
too.
and then
I
put
think
back
that's what
into
keeps
effect
people
with
around is
BFA,
the
I
fact that
believe.
the combat in this
I don't
game,
know
kind
completely,
of compared
but
to other MMOs, is just better.
Yeah, it has
it's
a different
better.
style. I
Okay,
mean, there's
it's
people that
better.
like-
So he's given his opinion, but once again, that's an opinion. You know, it's better in my opinion. It's better. Okay, well, yeah, I think the sky is green, but you know, I might not see it for what it is. But hey, it's still my opinion. I'm entitled to it. So continue.
like it. There's people that don't like
Yeah.
it, right?
For sure.
It has a very
Right.
high skill cap.
See,
And
Outcast is
That's-
being
it's also
subjective. You know,
an
he's being
issue,
like, you know, hey,
Yeah,
man, this game
this is
isn't
good
for
and bad.
everybody.
I think it's better than it is worse, though.
Probably, yeah, probably.
I feel like for the longevity of this game, it's good to have that high skill cap. Sure,
Yeah.
newer players could feel overwhelmed at times, but to be perfectly honest, the only time that you really notice the skill cap is when you have newer players facing off in PvP against very good players. And they
Against
feel like they
very
can
good
compete, and
players.
it's because that skill
Yeah,
gap is
because
there,
there's skill
you know?
attached
Yeah.
to PvP
And
with
it's
all
the
the
same way
cancer
with the
sets
game,
that's
you just get
flooding it.
Yeah, that for
Oh
sure.
my.
PV, it's also like when you compare DPS. A lot of, or like in general, I mean, it also goes in PvP. A lot of people have issues weaving light attacks between abilities and stuff like that. But in the end, you know, it's an L to P issue. It is, you know, like the more you play, people just want instant gratification, and you can't learn that in a day. You need to
Yeah.
keep playing.
I think
playing,
that's a
playing,
great
playing, you know.
a great way to put it. You cannot learn this combat in a day. It is deep, you know? It's simple at the surface level, but it's deep when you get into it, and
Yeah.
you can really improve your performance in this game as you play it. And it's a big reason why I think a hardcore gamer would really love ESO long term, because
Yeah. If they can play it long term without getting fucking rage quitting.
of the combat.
Yeah, and you have so much possibilities, right? Cool thing.
So what makes ESO really stand out versus the competition for MMOs out there?
So again, I
Okay.
feel like the combat system.
Here's what's crazy. He keeps going back to this question, right? To try to get Alcast to say, yes, this is better than all those other games. If you guys notice the pattern, he keeps like reintegrating this over and over and over again. It's like, dude, he has nothing to reference it on. He's admitted he only has Lineage 2, and he's played a little bit of Black Desert. He probably hasn't even gotten Awakened. It's like, seriously, how can he give a comparable answer to that?
Is the major point, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
And now, obviously, more when you look more at the casual player base, the storytelling, the quests are pretty high quality compared to most other MMOs.
They are.
I've personally not.
I do love the quest lines.
Even close to as good storytelling, questing, and world exploration interaction.
Storyline is. Well, you're not even going to go there, Christopher. Elder Scrolls doesn't have the best story considered out of the MMO market, but it does have probably one of the better lores attached. It has, okay, Elder Scrolls isn't like a traditional story where it's read, page by page. It's like this intricate puzzle of lore that surrounds each area, right? And each area has an interwoven, like a real life environment. So they missed the mark in the description right there. It's like you missed it. It's like that's not. Elder Scrolls isn't just a linear story. The story's not linear. The game itself isn't linear. It has this part where it has history. And even the time dilations in the Elder Scrolls universe relate. And it's like, dude, you just fucked up the one thing that Elder Scrolls sets apart in comparison to any other MMO. Isn't the storyline, it's the lore. It's not necessarily the story, it's the lore. Right? It's different. Okay. Okay.
And that's where they get in a lot of new players, because they actually, when you look at Somerset, Morrowind, a lot of people like to play those chapters. Even I.
Has a fighting chance to be the best MMO in the world right now.
If they manage to fix the server issues, then yes.
Rewind. Recap.
The story aspect of it, and obviously the combat, the gameplay.
I think one big thing, too, that really sets ESO apart is the build craft. The ability to do whatever you want with your character to pretty much that extent, whatever you want.
That is
any class, any role.
Man,
I wonder who did that first.
MMOs, like in World of Warcraft.
Or
just was saying that the class you pick heavily determines the role you play, where that is not the case in this game, And I played a lot of Guild Wars 2 as well, and Guild Wars 2 had a great build craft system, but nowhere near the same level of
I agree.
openness that ESO does.
This definitely has a very broad.
I think that's also why a lot of people are confused that come into the game.
Yeah.
There's so much options. People are like, what the hell is going on,
I would say it's akin to RuneScape, where you have a fresh character. We do pick classes in ESO, but your fresh character, like in RuneScape, can level up whatever skills you want, use whatever weapons you want, whatever combat styles you want.
That is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Do you think that ESO has a fighting chance to be the best MMO in the world right now?
If they manage...
Do they have a fighting chance? Not with its current board. Not with the current board. No. Not at all. And why? Well, Alcast will answer that right here.
To fix the server issues, then yes.
If they fix the server issues, then yes. But ZeniMax already said that they're not upgrading the servers. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
If they would actually invest more into the server stuff, then definitely.
Oh. Oh, who's been saying that? Hello. 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 Okay.
Because PvE storytelling, so they have the role players and the casuals. Giving up hope on that, you know, like it probably would also be very beneficial to the game.
I agree.
Yeah, I do think it has a chance, but I just don't see them fixing the server issue, you know, like, so it's like
don't see it happening.
But they definitely have a chance.
Yeah, I look at it the same way. I'm myself, from past experience with ZeniMax, pessimistic as to whether or not the servers will get better.
Okay,
however,
and yet you're having this question. It's going to be the best of 2019. No,
I mean,
no, dude, you're high. Stop.
You know, like
put the weed down.
5 years. So,
but MMOs take time to mature, Alcast.
It doesn't matter how much time. There's a window of opportunity, you dumb fuck. How much an MMO will hit peak? Yes, it'll go up. It'll go down, right? But if you haven't established millions within the first 3 years, right, you're only going to go up exponentially, like 20-25% decrease, you know, big time. You'll go up, down, left, and right. But you coming out of the gate, right? That's why, listen, Final Fantasy XIV had the worst launch, one of the worst launch. They literally fucking made it free to play until they took the code, stripped it from the original engine, set it to a new engine, and relaunched the fucking game. They had to relaunch their product. Square Enix had to relaunch their flagship, right? Because it was sinking. It had holes in that motherfucker. It wasn't floating, let alone sailing, right? So what kind of flagship do you have if it can't set sail, right? If it can't even be put in the water? You don't fuck up MMOs. And if you do have problems, you address those issues in a timely manner. You try to keep retention to grow, right? It's not like it takes time to mature. No, dumb fuck. No. You don't fucking wait. Like, you got Elsewhere coming around the corner, and you ain't investing in new servers when you're putting this much data stress on your servers already. Kristopher, you have something to really learn. I suggest you go talk to techs, motherfucker. You get a fucking clue. Because even a hardcore tech will say, no, motherfucker. No, motherfucker. That's not how this shit works. Oh, my God. Moving forward.
You know?
Yeah, sure. But in the end, you know, I'm just trying to be realistic before.
Thank you, Alcast. You're being realistic. I appreciate that.
You still believe it gets
despite
fixed.
our beef in the past, I appreciate it.
But, you know, that's the main pain point, you know?
Right.
The potato servers.
You know, and for me too. If there's anything that's pushed me away from the game throughout my time playing it, it is performance.
It's performance. Oh my God. But it takes time to mature, Kristopher. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion on the lag then in ESO? And do you think ZeniMax is doing enough to ensure server performance?
I do not think they do enough.
Oh! Pow! Go ahead. Pre-order your fucking Elsewhere game now, ladies and gentlemen. Now.
Could definitely do more to improve the server performance, because I'm sure they're working on some things. Like when Lambert did the Elsewhere announcement, they talked about 2 huge changes that will come this year that will probably affect both ping and like latency and FPS, which is nice. But again, it will not be here when Elsewhere launches.
It won't be here when Elsewhere launches. Did you guys hear that? Okay. Best game of 2019? Boy. I'll wait for that. I'll wait. Elder Scrolls would be happy if it could sustain 6 million subs. Let alone keep up with fucking Blizzard and Square Enix. Get the fuck out of here, man. I ain't touching them with a lighter. These motherfuckers got fucking flamethrowers, and here's fucking Zoss holding a lighter. Get the fuck out of here.
Launches.
And that's a big deal.
It's like, yeah, you have. I mean, I'm always making that joke. You know, you have like 300 people working there and 250 work on the crown store. But but you know, you get on. Fuck this shit.
You know, Alcast.
And that sounds kinky. The people in Australia
introducing a new class into the game.
Definitely. And like in general, because obviously a lot of the stuff they probably already see. But we still can give some sort of impact to that, which we could not do with the voting.
Yeah, you like this, Jackson? I think it's awesome, right?
And it's great too. They actually invited some of the class reps to come and play test.
Yeah, we were there like a month ago. Elsewhere, we'll have a full trial again, like
that's good.
A full-size trial. So that's what I'm looking forward to as well. And I do hope again it actually can convert a lot of WoW players over to Elder Scrolls.
I doubt
think
that.
WoW, especially having that Necromancer archetype over in that game, it's going to be easier for them to come over.
It'll be easier.
Around Necro.
Once again, World of Warcraft players only bank on one thing. Listen, World of Warcraft has the worst graphics in MMOs. It has the worst. It's gauged down intentionally. You think any fucking eye candy is going to attract World of Warcraft players? Why do you think Blizzard... Let's recap this. Why do you think Blizzard intentionally... Crazy. Yeah, it's coming out of Alcast's mouth. Not mine. But I've said it, haven't I? Oh my god. World of Warcraft has some of the worst graphics in comparison to other MMO titles. Okay, let's be honest about it. Why did Blizzard initially, why did Blizzard initially come out with lower end rendering? So it could be played on lower graded systems. Why? Performance. World of Warcraft players are spoiled having the highest IP ever known in the gaming industry, besides maybe a few Asian markets. And you're expecting to retain the WoW populace with an IP by even Alcast mouth, and fucking Kristopher agreed, is shit. Good luck with that. Good fucking luck with that one. Okay. Good luck.
You know, it'll feel almost somewhat familiar.
Definitely, yeah.
So Necro is confirmed for June 4th with Elsewhere. How do you think it will impact the game?
So this will be like the 6th class. I do think it will be good for the game. I mean, tied to bodies on the ground.
I think Necro's going to do
kind of fire
pretty good.
Or I don't know. I mean, I have the Necromancer, like, in PvE, it depends what they bring to it, right? Stem Knight Blades, Mech Blades.
Thousands of hours. So there will be things behind the DLC paywall and stuff like that.
You reach level 50 really fast, and then 160 quests and that stuff. So
I think
there is enough things to do for not being max CP, because in other games it's like, you're not max level, well, you're useless.
Yeah.
In this game, it's not the case. Everything scales.
I think that's
you can go
point.
Directly to Elsewhere.
That is a good one.
Level 3 if you want to, you know? Doesn't matter.
I think that's great.
So,
I think that it's good for the game that that even at a low level, 95% of the game is available to you, you know, and I tell people who come into my stream
about
all
70.
The time, they're like, what level do I need to be for PvP? What level do I need
you
to
can't
be
do
dungeons?
like vet
level 10.
You can't do
so
DLCs under
you can
what
enter the zone at level 10.
like 150
level 10, you can
on
start
some
right away.
and now some are like set to
content,
300, so
scales,
get the fuck out of here, Kristopher. At least know what the fuck you're talking about.
PvP, PvE, whatever it is, with people that are appropriate level with you. I think it's good.
I think that's what all the people
9 to 10 Necro will be broken like Warden. History is about to repeat itself. History is about to go beyond repeating itself. Fucking Elsewhere is going to fuck the servers. It's going to fuck it.
don't realize. That's a good point.
Yeah, and that's a big difference.
To check out that source, I'm trying to optimize it, like make it more complete so it can function as a full guide basically. So I have my build videos there, and I try to do some other.
Okay, so he gives his link and stuff, but you guys get the gist, right? In the whole fucking video, Alcast is just being real about the real state of what Elder Scrolls is. The good, the bad, everything. I felt Kristopher just kept leading him, trying to lead him into saying something more than what the game really was. And the problem of it is, the game is actually beautiful in its content, but it misses in the context due to the performance, right? So how can you play a game, right, when 50-50 something's going to go fucking wrong? You're not going to be able to break. You're not going to be able to hit your light attack because it just turned into a heavy. You're not going to be able to, you know, break out of a very important mechanic. All of a sudden, now you can't bar swap. The lists go on and on and on. You'll get feared underneath the fucking map. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? And this is the game of 2019? Okay, now there are some really damn good devs over at ZeniMax. And Matt Fuhrer is a legend. I mean, I literally, the man is amazing, right? I give it up to Matt every day of the week. All of them. Rich is awesome. So I'm not saying anything against the staff. But the simple fact of it is, it's being ran like shit. The company's run like shit. It's ran terrible. And what, you're going to blame the people like who are putting in the work? No, man. It goes from the top down, man. It goes from the top down. And Kristopher, here's the thing. If you're going to fucking ask Alcast something about something he knows nothing about, by the way, Alcast, kudos, dude. Keeping true all the way, regardless of our bullshit in the past. I don't give a shit if you like it or hate it on me. I don't give a shit. But I'm going to give it up to you because that's just the type of person I am. Good looking out, brother. Good looking out. Being true to yourself and being honest. Man, I got respect for you on that one. But you can't ask a man to put himself in a position he's never been. You can't ask somebody to do that. He's never played World of Warcraft. He's never played other MMOs except one, maybe two at the most. He's young. All respect. I mean, Kristopher's got more fucking MMO experience than Alcast. But Alcast got more Elder Scrolls experience. So I'm not saying one's better than the other. It's just different. Right? They come from different perceptions. Based on their, what? Experience. So Kristopher, man. Nice clickbait, dude. Nice fucking clickbait, man. I mean, I'll give it up. If anything, you should have just put an interview with Alcast on ESO 2019. You shouldn't have said, is ESO the best MMO? Is it? It's a subjective question. It's an open-ended question. It's open-ended to begin with. Second, you're misleading the viewers to believe, yes, it's the best MMO. You're leading people to come over, click, and say, yes, I love Elder Scrolls. It's the best. But it's not. It isn't. And why? Because even Alcast here says the servers are shit. Even you, Kristopher, have said the servers are running really bad. It would be great if the servers were running better. No shit, Sherlocks. Okay, guys. So what did this teach you guys? I hope it teaches some people some fucking lessons, man. Stop listening to buffoons. God. It's like, literally, unless you're going to fucking shit. What's up, Hooded? How you doing, brother? I'm fucking going off on some fucking clickbait bullshit. Don't listen to the buffoons, man. But Alcast, man, heads up, man, dude. That was good shit. I'll give it up to Alcast on that. That was good interview. Alcast was true. Kristopher, stop leading people into shit, dude. Fucking sounds like a fucking shit. What the fuck? You know, would you like dick with your ice cream? Well, yes, I would. You know, I mean, seriously, man. Come on, man. Stop. Stop. It's like, what are you doing, man? You know, those questions were just fucking, they were baited, man. Those were loaded questions that poor Alcast was just like, I don't know. I've never played this game. But, you know, I like Elder Scrolls. Well, absolutely. I like Elder Scrolls too. When I can play it without it fucking up on me. Sure. Awesome. I just won't pay for it anymore. So, yeah, there it is. Now, is Elder Scrolls going to do good for 2019? Mystic Raven's opinion. It will do okay. It will do good. It's not the best. It won't be the best because you have shit-ass IP and you have shit-ass fucking board members who are fucking cheesy and cheap as a motherfucker. And I hope they fucking watch this video and they know that Mystic says, fuck you. What's up, Gilliam? How you doing? How you doing, man? Seriously. Come on now. Don't bait people, man. Do not bait people. Stop that shit. Servers have to be maintained. They have to be. They're part of the infrastructure, right? And if you cheese out, man, I'm sorry. I mean, you heard it here. You heard it. The video I just played is the definite. It's like, come on, man. Is it just one thing? It'll do good. They'll be fine. ZOS isn't going anywhere. They have a new MMO coming out. They're a good publishing company. They've got their ducks in a row when it comes to the publishing aspect. Even if publishing goes away in the next 5 years, ZOS is sustaining a franchise. The problem with ZeniMax is they're new to the multiplayer experience. They're new to the whole, you know, how we have to scale our servers. They're new to this, right? They're new to it. So it's going to take them time and a lot of fucking broken eggs to get it down. Once they get it down, they're golden. But is Elder Scrolls going to be the game? Your servers are not fine, Gilliam. The Outcast just said it's fucking shit. Do you want me to hit replay? Your servers aren't fine. On your forums, it's listed that everybody's having problems. If I log in now, you don't think I'm going to hiccup? Bullshit. And you can't be Gilliam because Gilliam would never make that statement out loud. You know why? Because that puts him in a compromised position. He would never make that statement. Our servers are fine. Because then, all of a sudden, you just put yourself in a compromised position. Because I can bet you I can get on 10 MMOs and have a better latency. So don't tell me they're fine. Don't tell me that. With our new expansion comes performance updates. Gilliam, I'm telling you, man. If you are Gilliam, I will tell you. Performance updates isn't going to matter for a fucking shit. You're talking to somebody who's used to test for all these motherfucking companies. And you're going to tell me the performance? What? Like your netcode's going to change? It's going to make that big of a difference? Your scaling's the issue with the node structure. Don't tell me about that shit. How many times? When's the last time you literally sat there and looked at a fucking server and then looked at the ping, looked at the latency, look at all the information, the traffic moving? I mean, you're probably there, but how many times have you really been in there in that situation? Right? How many times were you reading the data that's being processed within the node? and then just in every across the board. Everything being put into the bandwidth and the data being spread across the node. I'm telling you, man, you might be working for ZeniMax, but I guarantee you better have way more fucking experience coming to me, bro, dude. You better have it. You better have it. You better fucking have it. Because some of the top devs wouldn't even have the balls to argue with me. You can ask Matt on that one. You better know, dude. You better know. Because it's not an issue. It's not questionable. It's not. You want to play, you know, PR and damage control? There's no damage control this. There's none. There's not a damage control on this. There isn't. We're looking into desyncing abilities like snipe and the poor performance of our servers. Well, yeah. Desyncing the snipe is one thing. I would agree with that. But the animation's the problem. The problem of it is you have a you have a delay between the double cast. Desyncing it will increase some of the performance, but you're not going to get rid of the glitch that's associated. So even desyncing it, that's not going to help with that specific ability, Gilliam. It's just not. It's not. You have to take a look at the cast to delivery. It's a timing issue. The desyncing it has nothing to do with the physics behind it. Right? You have to understand between the cast time and the delivery is the problem with the snipe effect. Now, what it's doing on server end is what I agree. I think the desyncing is going to create a better performance in that scenario. However, it's not going to fix that specific issue because it's physics. It's the math behind the physics, right? The poor performance of the servers is due to the scaling of the node configuration, right? I mean, once again, it's not as easy as saying, like, well, it's hardware. I don't know, Gilliam. I haven't been over there. The delay on snipe will be tricky to patch, but we think it's a bug with the stealth. No. But I do see where you would go with that. You would think it would be the stealth. And I agree with you on that. To what the perception of it is. And I could see why. But literally, it's the physics. Okay, so in and out of stealth, and this is what I would recommend, and you'll see it. Because you're good at testing, and I'll give this up to you. Okay, so test it without the stealth, test it with the stealth. Place it on target, right? With a player target. What you'll see is the animation delays from the second effect. So what ends up happening cancels out the animation where the one animation's delivered and the second is completely not apparent. Right? So all of a sudden you get the stack effect. The damage is still applied, but the physical manifestation of the animation is completely gone. The rendering is completely out the window. So it literally has to do with the physics itself. It's literally the animation of the physics, right? Because of the time that it takes to cast to the time of delivery. You tell them that. It's the time of cast to delivery. And that will fix your problem. But once again, I mean, it's down to the physics. I mean, you know, it's just a math problem. Just, you know, whatever. Once that's rendered, you'll be fine with that specific issue, right? It'll be fine with that specific issue. But, I mean, you still got other issues that are occurring. And I don't necessarily, I think everything has to do, like, I don't know, man. I haven't been there. But besides hardware, you could definitely be seeing a problem in the software, right? Within the engine infrastructure itself due to the net code. So no matter how much patching you do to the net and how much network you do, if the server isn't being, if the engine, not server, if the engine isn't being updated, right, by the engineers, it's not going to do you any good. You could be seeing that simple problem. You could have mega servers, you could have the best servers, literally, on the planet. But if the engine is not being updated to the net code and reintegrated into the source, you're fucked. Player latency also plays a major factor. I agree, and we've received a lot of complaints on the forums about Snipe. Of course you have, right. I agree. I totally agree with that, Gilliam. I totally agree with that. And I understand, man. Snipe is bugged, but it's the animation. It is. It's the physics behind it. I'm telling you, man. It's literally from the point of cast to the point of delivery. When it's spammed, one of the animations are completely canceled, right? Because the system isn't picking up the secondary effect to implement the projectile as it's animated. So what you end up having, the cast is unrelated. The delivery is unrelated. The animation between the two is the problem. Okay? If that makes sense. I mean, I'm trying to put it in a term that I don't sound completely stupid. But that's the problem. That is the problem. It's like the shield stack, man. I keep reintegrating the problem with the shield stack system. It's like it's glitched. But hey, I mean, I don't have a problem with bugs. I can live with bugs. I can play a game with bugs. I can't play a game that's performing like poop. You know, it's just not my thing. It's not. It's just not. I cannot play a game that's so piss poor performing, man. And it's getting worse. We see the latency keep increasing each update. Why? The data that's pushed out, right? Each node has a certain amount. Each system will take a certain amount of data and process the data on their end, right? Every player has that. Why? Because we have Elder Scrolls takes at least, what, 89 to 100 and something gigabytes of your hard drive space, right? Not even any other game I ever have has that much. But Elder Scrolls is a huge game. What it does is it reads a lot of that information from there and process it to the server end, right? So a lot of the performance, like you said, can be contributed to each individual system. The weird thing about Snipe compared to the other cast time abilities like Dark Flare, Snipe seems to be the only one to desync. Right. I agree. And it could, like I said, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I think the desyncing is going to help with some of the performance issues. I don't necessarily think it's going to fix the glitch. I just don't see that happening unless you change the projectile's physics of delivery within a secondary cast. It's literally, its cast to delivery system is proportionary, right? That's fine. Like, it's done well. Like, the way the cast into the delivery is timed well. There's no delay between the two to be associated that it should be bugging up. However, the animation is, like you said, it's problem. Like, is desyncing going to fix that? I don't think it will. It'll fix the performance, but I don't see that fixing the animation. And that's the problem where people have, is they don't see it coming. All of a sudden you get 2 or 3 and you just die. You're just dead. So I just honestly think that desyncing is going to be a good call. You're not going to go wrong with trying to attempt the desync, especially on a PTS. So I would make that recommendation. I would say that's a good way to go with it. But I honestly think it comes down to the physics, man. Honestly. It comes down to the animation, the associated animation to the cast. That's the problem. That's where the problem lies, in my opinion. So, but, you know, I could be wrong. I could be. I definitely could be. But I think it's the associated problem. Have you played with Wrathstone yet? I would like to know your feedback on the update. I have not. I can't do it, man. I cannot do it, Gilliam. I can't. I mean, I wanted to. I shouldn't have PvP'd, man. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. That was my problem. That's where I got myself screwed. And I've watched a couple of streams, and the content looks good. The content always looks good. So I think the content looks strong. But the problem of it is, for me, it's just like, I got into the PvP, and the next thing you know, it just shit got bad, man. Like, I was seeing so many, like, I got feared into an entire wall, Gilliam. I got feared into a wall. A wall, man. Like, I'm stuck in the map. Because somebody forgot to skirt the fucking terrain. Wow. I was really like, what the fuck? Like, someone couldn't... How hard would it have been to put a backdrop, like, terrain behind the wall? Just to prevent it. Like, why did somebody forget that? Like, that was before you went over there. That wasn't anything associated with you. And I hope things are going well, by the way, for you. So I'm actually glad you are over there. You're a player voice. So I'm happy for you, brother. Regardless of our shit, I'm happy for you. I'm sorry for the past transgressions. And I hope things go well for you. And I know you're just another, you know, person doing his job over there. I give it up to the devs over at ZeniMax. But... when hands are tied, what can one do? Right? What can one do when you're limited? And it comes back to that. It comes back to that, man. It just comes back to that. You know, I've went head to head with the CEOs of multiple MMOs. What's up, John? By the way, if you ever catch me. We have noticed issues with fear and have noticed people walking through hills. Right. Just skirt them. Well, we called it skirting. So the way terrain's laid down, usually you lay it down on top of the mesh, right? So I'm sure you're familiar with the mesh or mesh terrain of the tool associated. So all of a sudden you have your 3D tool, right? That's laying down your terrain, and you put down your mountains or your other obstacles or other buildings or whatever. And one of the ways that you will prevent any other you know, gaping between the data that's being generated for the terrain is what we call skirting. And well, some people call it skirting, some people don't. I don't know what the other terminology is, but literally it's taking a flat part of the terrain and literally like setting it behind it, like an invisible wall or a wall behind that terrain. So it's just set literally behind there where you can't see it. It doesn't interfere. There's no glitching, no whatever. It's set literally on a lower end scale. So all of a sudden it bumps you, your avatar. So if you get near it, it's like a little, like, you know, bumper. If you played Battlegrounds, I would like to know if you saw any bugs on the new map so I can forward it to the team. No, teleports were working fine. I saw everything looking good with the teleportation and the lay of the land. It's different, so there were no bugs associated with the terrain that I saw initially, even though it was in the air, which scared the shit out of me, to be honest with you. I haven't fell through anything yet, so I haven't seen anything as of yet that would indicate that. So I haven't seen it. I played it one time, so I haven't seen anything else associated. But, you know, once again, one of the best ways to find out is look by the staircase. Have people coming on the side of that staircase. Most of the time, that's where you'll find a problem. Get somebody to do a CC or a effect right by the staircase. But in a lot of battlegrounds, you're not going to get that effect. But you shouldn't. So long as the so nobody's falling through like the little seam areas, you shouldn't, because the rest of the terrain is, you know, open. So you shouldn't have any other problems. Portals are working good. So long as the portals work good, and so long as no, terrains, there's no terrain gaps, you'll be fine. Did you like the new map? I didn't. I felt completely discombobulated by that map. That map completely, like, people were doing good in it. I just don't think I'm familiar with it. So like when I portal in, I'm in one side of the map, and then I take another portal and I'm by my base. So like if somebody's pushing your base, and this is the only reason I like the idea behind it. Okay, I'm going to say this. I like the idea behind the map because people can't turtle up top like I used to. So if people would run the base, you could kill them from the top side of the map. Right? And I do that. But with this, you have to be forced down. You have to force yourself down. But the one problem of it is if you take the wrong portal and they're farming your base, you're screwed. You pour it in one at a time, and literally you can be jumped between 2 or 3 without even having a chance to defend yourself. So that was my problem. It was just like, that's the only thing I didn't like about it. Like on the base front. Not on the other side, because the other side, it's like, here's a position here, here's a position over there on the different, wings of the map. Which was good. I didn't have a problem with that. I actually thought it was kind of cool because people were porting in from the other teams in the same areas, which was really cool. Made quick combat. The combat was quick, fluid. It actually sped up the combat, actually. But when you're base bound, like we were a little worried about portal camping night blades. Was that an issue? No, because since the way you did it, you can't do it that way. Like literally, when people poured in, like I noticed, like I'm not getting CC'd right from the rip. If anything, that's one of the best parts about portaling is. Do you notice that even if they throw a CC, there's a delay between the effect and you integrating into the map. So somebody throws caltrops for a second, like hypothetically saying, okay, here's the spawn, throw caltrops. I generate on top of the caltrops. Literally, there's a slight delay before caltrops applies. So that's actually brilliant. That actually, I don't know if you intentionally did that, but that's one of the good things. Like, it's not applying it right away. There's a slight delay, which is perfect. So Nightblade camping kind of goes in the same perspective. It's like they literally have to hit you out. Like, they have to be on top of you. Or they have to, like, wait until, like, you come in to snipe you. Like, literally, if somebody can't anticipate, you can't target a snipe without the target being present. So I thought that was well done. Like, okay, I can't get sniped if I'm coming into the through the portal because I have to integrate. I have to be on it. So there's a slight delay, like 0.2 seconds of a delay, I would say, between a 2.2 and a 0.5. Not even definitely not a 0.5, but at least a 0.2. So that was actually brilliant. But other than that, I mean, everything else, I didn't like the map because of the way like I said, the base position was. But everything else looks solid. So long as nobody's falling through the seams, you're good. But there are some maps and battlegrounds that need work. The new one prior to that one, the big one, I forget what it's called. That has issues, like a lot of little issues and terrain issues. But the new one, I haven't seen anything. I only played it one time, so I wouldn't know. But, nah, man. I mean, this is the way I look at it. I hope Elder Scrolls does well. I think it's going to. I think it's going to. ZOS isn't going anywhere in the next, Jesus, 20 years. If they do it, they play their cards right. They have a new MMO in production. We already know it. You know, data miners know it. They don't know all the details. At least, you know, security's tighter over there. But we know that they're working on a new MMO. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure that they're learning their lesson with Elder Scrolls. So my only hope, my only prayer is that they learn quick and they don't repeat. They can't repeat the same ones at SOE. SOE had a problem listening to me. John. I would say you're a good inspiration to Elder Scrolls Online players. Despite our past disagreements, I think you should play more. Like I said, Gilliam, once the you know, the infrastructure has been resolved, you know, as far as, and I agree. You know, I was happy when you got hired. Because the way I look at it is like this, Gilliam. You're a voice for the player. You're a player. I'm glad you got your dream job, by the way. Congratulations. You are. But I'm not the most... I've never been like Gilliam. I've always been the villain of Elder Scrolls. ZOS never even had my back when I was dealing with bullshit players. Telling me I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. ZOS didn't even have my back. So, they didn't even have my back. You know, they didn't. When I was the one fighting against everybody, where was ZOS? Where were any of the devs? I believe you will like Elsewhere when it comes out. And the unique builds you can do with Necromancer. Yeah. But the problem is playing, man. I can't. If I can't perform, man, that's a problem, man. After Somerset, I had an 18 minutes of a load screen. 18 minutes. The data stress on the servers right now is just so bad. And man, it's the architecture, man. I don't think it's the code, man. I don't think it's the code. I think it's the scale of the nodes, man. I'm telling you. I don't know. I mean, I ain't there to even see shit, let alone. And I'll tell people first, check the data that's going in from the engine. The fluctuation. Check the fluctuation from the engine to the server. The processing of the data. Because if the servers are stabilizing, right, the data across the being like distributed without any bumps that's occurring within, you know, the process, then it's not the code. It's the friggin' data that's being produced through the node. And that would be on engine side. I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys are running. I don't know your scaling system. I don't know shit. I can't say shit. I'm just telling you, man. I would check that shit. I would check that shit with a heartbeat. I would check it left and fucking right. Because there's something going on with the data. The latency ping is not a fluke. And if it scales right, and the node is structured to scale, right? It has a scaling system, like virtual. If it has a hard and a virtual scale to it that's associated, then it has to be something with the data being produced. But hey, man, whatever. I'm not a tech. I'm not one that holds a degree in this. So I would get with a server engineer. I would literally ask him, hey man, if this is not producing, if our scaling system is solid, then could we be looking at the data being like slowing down as it's passing through? As it's passing through. If it's slowing down through the pass through, right? then it's something inside the engine that's producing the problem. If that makes sense. It's the only way I can explain it. But I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, that's something like that. I don't know what you guys are running for hardware. I would have fucking stripped that fucking shit out. I would have done anything to get that shit running better. Especially with all the data that's being produced, man. Elsewhere's coming out. Elsewhere's going to be great. Necromancer's going to be great. I think you guys are going to do a good job, Gilliam. I think you're going to do a good job. And I think you're going to do great things. So I look forward to seeing what projects ZeniMax has you on. ZeniMax going anywhere? No. But is Elder Scrolls the game for 2019? Well, one thing, their marketing is good. And we're doing major performance patch coming elsewhere. We are putting a lot of hard work into finally fixing the poor performance in PvP areas. Well, yeah. It's more dominant there. It's more prominent, right? It's more noticeable in PvP. There is issues. I think taking the Imperial sewers out of Cyrodiil was a smart move. I will say that. It was a step in the right direction. To put it on its own node system was smart. How it integrates with the pipeline, I don't know if that's really going to resolve the issue. But I don't know, man. I mean, I think there are a lot of really cool things when one Tamriel came out that they did with the, you know, infrastructure as far as like putting how the server was having problems. They resolved it, right? When we'd have like a what I like to call a ghost server or a secondary underlining server into the same node capacity. So that was kind of brilliant to utilize that system for resolution. But I think because of some of, like I said, other problems that like even if it's not server related, even if it's not the hardware, there's something funky going on with the data. If it's not hardware, it's definitely with the data that's being like configured within each nodes, going from node to node. So we have each, like Cyrodiil sets on its own node, right? Versus each individual area of Tamriel. And that's integrated into the server as a whole. But, you know, how the data transfers from one point to another point has to go through the same engine, right? So, and then we have instability between the nodes because of the data process being processed at intervals, right? So, I don't know, man. I'm just second guessing in the dark because I'm literally in the dark when it comes to that stuff until whatever. But hey, man, I wish you guys the best. You guys will be fine. Elsewhere will be a good content. The content's going to be good. Necromancer's going to be awesome. But here's the problem: performance. Just get the performance and get the priority. You can't do nothing, Gilliam. You can't do nothing. You're doing your job. Keep doing your job. You're doing good. Tell Rich they're doing good. I just hope that you guys get the resources you need. And congratulations, and tell Matt good play getting one of the other legends to join the team. And I look forward to seeing what he's going to do because PvP is going to look good if he gets his hands on it. So that'll take some time, but yeah, the man's going to be sick. He's done such good jobs in the past, but tell Matt good play, man. But yeah, no, it'll be good, man. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. Gilliam, once again, congratulations. I wish you all the best in your endeavors, your future endeavors. Tell everybody I said hi. I know everybody hates me over there. Most of them do. But in Alcast, once again, kudos, brother. And Kristopher, once again, dude, just here's a piece of advice, man. Don't go there. Unless you know somebody who has that experience, don't go there, dude. Don't go there, man. because there are a lot of games out there, and ESO will be fine because there's not a lot of games that has the type of gameplay that Elder Scrolls has. You have to understand the strength behind Elder Scrolls is within the universe of Elder Scrolls. Its storyline is not, it's not a linear system. It's so open-ended. The way the lore is structured, everything, no problem, man, anytime. It has beautiful lore, right? It has this diversity and intricate moments in the entire Elder Scrolls universe. That's why Elder Scrolls is one of my favorite titles to date, because they did something so unique with the system, the story system, and it separates itself. The gameplay separates itself because you can imagine what you want to do, right? And that's what is the most compelling elements to the Elder Scrolls universe. You know, and ESO lends this timetable, right? It lends the timetable to the ESO universe. It sets the stage to every other title that's been produced. That's Elder Scrolls' strength. That's the passion behind the Elder Scrolls universe. And you need to understand the potential has always been there, right? It has always been there. But you need to understand there's work to be done, you know, and it never stops. And in the MMO industry, it's a harsh reality, my friend. I've seen the best games fall short, and then I've seen games that should have been somewhere and didn't make it, and then I've seen games that you never thought was going to go anywhere and it just fell. I've been there. I have seen it all, and it sucks. And I think Elder Scrolls, though, will survive. It will. It will do good. And I hope that some people will listen to the words of somebody who has been there and say, please, please treat it with the care it deserves. Okay? All right? Once again, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystics MMOs. As always, thank you guys. Thank you, Gilliam. And have a nice day.